On the Paper Talk today, we're going to be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Why not? Apparently he's done some interview or something. I've not heard much about it. No one's really talking about it on the internet, but we'll see if we can find out a little bit about it and share it with you. Let's check it out. Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it is pretty cold, but I'm warm because I've been walking very fast. My parker's on the floor in case you're wondering. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what to talk about this morning. There's nothing really happening. No real news. Nothing. Just a bit dead in it, eh? You know, should talk a bit more about the weather. I wish that was the case, but it isn't. Of course, the big story this morning is Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo's explosive, in inverted commas, interview with Piers Morgan. For starters, before we get into the sort of the nitty-gritty of the interview, why are you doing an interview with Piers Morgan? Why are you doing two interviews with Piers Morgan? And why is it getting published in The Sun? I can't stand Piers Morgan and I can't stand The Sun. That's another story though. Anyway, yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously the interview, or snippets of the interview were sort of released last night at about 10 p.m. The story was in The Sun, on the front page of The Sun. Don't buy The Sun, by the way, hashtag don't buy The Sun. This morning, I'll go through a little bit of what was said and then we'll get into some of the reaction. Now, first of all, in terms of the interview and United's response, James Ducker in the Telegraph said United are not commenting on Cristiano Ronaldo's interview. Sources indicate that the club will not allow it to take anything away from today's win. Big win yesterday, a late winner at Fulham thanks to Alejandro Garnacho. We should be stood here talking about how wonderful he is and how he's one of the greatest players ever, and instead we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo's fallout with Manchester United, and this does really look like the end game now for Ronaldo. I'll go through some of the quotes. I mean, I could spend all day talking about this because there's a lot of quotes. There's obviously more of the interview to come, so there could be even more, but we'll go through some of the ones that have been published late last night and this morning. Cristiano Ronaldo, you have to destroy it to rebuild it, and if they start with me, talking about the club, for me it's not a problem. I love United, I love the fans, they're always on my side, but if they want to do it different, they have to change many things. I think the fans should know the truth. I want the best for the club. That is why I come to United. Since Sir Alex left, I saw no evolution in the club. Nothing had changed. He knows better than anybody that the club is not on the path they deserve to be. Everyone knows. Now at that, those sort of comments, you think, okay, yeah, he was talking about the facilities, how nothing had changed in the 20 years since he'd been here, or the 18 years, whatever it was, since he'd been here. And I get that, and I'm happy when someone calls out like the lack of spending or infrastructure or anything like that. I think, okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. As fans, we do it all the time. We call out the owners. I know he's not naming them, but you get it. But then it's the other stuff that I'm not into. He goes on to say, on Ten Hag, now this is the thing that I think where a lot of fans from what's seen on social media, and myself included, we're not really into this one. He said, on Ten Hag, I don't have respect for him because he doesn't show respect for me. If you don't have respect for me, I'm never going to have respect for you. Now, 8 days ago, Ten Hag made Cristiano Ronaldo captain, I think, against Aston Villa in the league. He also has handled the Ronaldo situation, I think, pretty well. Ronaldo didn't come on pre-season tour. He was back for the Rayo Vallecano game in the summer. He left at half-time. Now, that's not respecting a manager. And the manager hadn't done anything wrong at that point. You know, Ronaldo wasn't available, so he didn't go on the pre-season tour. When he was available, he got 45 minutes because it was his first pre-season game. And then Ronaldo leaves the stadium. And again, Ten Hag he circled the wagons a little bit. And he said, well, it wasn't just Ronaldo who left. Other players left as well. Although, as far as I know, it was only Ronaldo who left. He was actually in the matchday squad. I might be wrong on that front, but I'm pretty sure it was. So it wasn't like he proper had a go at him or anything. Then you go a bit further down the line to the Spurs game, where Ronaldo was asked to come on a sub. Didn't. Left the ground early. Was then suspended, or not suspended, the club, well, suspended him basically for the Chelsea game. Then he was brought back in, and then he was handed the captaincy. So it's not like Ten Hag hasn't shown him any respect. It's just a case of Cristiano Ronaldo at times has made life very difficult for Ten Hag. And I think a big problem for Cristiano Ronaldo is he's no longer the force he was. Even last season we saw him scoring 18 Premier League goals, 6 goals in the Champions League, I think it was, 24 in all competitions. This season, his goal-scoring record is massively underwhelming. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to some more of the quotes. I'll get some more of the response from the club and what's being sort of, reported. And then I'll get to Cristiano's stats and you can see where we're at. Cristiano Ronaldo and Ralph Rangnick. If you're not even a coach, how are you going to be the boss of United? I'd never even heard of him. Not going to lie. Kind of agree on that one. I didn't know who he was. Steve Howson was giving it all the gegenpress and all that. Very excited. I'm not as au fait with international or, European coaches as Steve is. I was a bit like, Ralphie, what's he been doing? Oh, he's been director of football, whatever it was, at Lokomotiv Moscow. All right, nice one. Tell you what, the only way this will work is if we get Chris Armas in as well. Oh, thankfully we have. Ronaldo on Wayne Rooney, because Wayne Rooney had been pretty critical of Ronaldo's behaviour. I don't know why he criticises me so badly, probably because he's finished his career and I'm still playing at a high level. Also on Wayne Rooney says, I'm not going to say that I'm looking better than him, which is true, but, you know, a little bit of a dig there, a bit unnecessary. I don't think Wayne Rooney had a criticism or a go, if you can call it a go at Ronaldo because he's jealous that Ronaldo's still playing. I think he's just being honest. He said about, you know, leaving the ground early, other players wouldn't stomach that, and it was out of order, and I think he's right. Ronaldo also says, yes, United are trying to force me out, not only the coach, the other 2 or 3 guys around the club. I felt betrayed. And that's the front page of a certain newspaper I won't keep mentioning. United have betrayed me. So he's obviously, you know, just firing both barrels there. I mean, to me, this looks like the end game for Ronaldo at Manchester United. I don't know how he goes back. In terms of how this has gone down at the club, Cave Solarcol, the Sky News reporter, the guy that's always on Sky Sports, he's got his phone out, usually trying to give us an update. He said Ronaldo was told on Thursday that he would not be in the starting 11 against Fulham, but he would have been in the squad. He told the club he was ill. No one at United has ever disrespected Ronaldo, even after he asked to leave, and he refused to come on as a sub versus Spurs. Manchester United are likely to now consider all their options regarding Cristiano Ronaldo. Management and players don't understand why he said what he has said. They are hugely disappointed that he would disrespect the club, his manager and teammates in this way. Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United Manchester United players are extremely disappointed with the manner and timing of Cristiano Ronaldo's interview. This is all coming from Sky. Club only found out about the interview as they were preparing to fly back from London this evening after the Fulham game. So it's all sort of, you know, a bit of a bolt from the blue for them. They didn't know it was going to happen. They found out almost the same time as everyone else, I think, when it was leaked on Twitter or it was posted on Twitter, that it was going to be coming out, or the news was going to come out at 10 o'clock. I think the interview is later on this week. Now, just on the Cristiano Ronaldo front, does he have any points? Does he make any points? Kieran Maguire from The Price of Football, who we've spoken to a lot on this channel, he tweeted this morning saying, does Ronaldo have any valid criticism of Manchester United in terms of infrastructure spend since he left in 2009? United have certainly spent less than most other senior compared, but not as parsimonious as Mike Ashley's Newcastle. Sorry, I get my words out. It's quite difficult to understand that one. But basically, he's done a graph, and it shows that Manchester United haven't spent a lot on infrastructure at all since 2009. A lot less than other clubs such as, well, Liverpool, City, Spurs, Leicester, Brentford, and Arsenal have all spent more. Now, obviously, Spurs built that stadium. I think they're one of the biggest spenders. City, we know what they do. Liverpool, they've been doing up the stadium as well. And then other clubs that I've mentioned. So, yeah, not great. So he does have a point in there, but I'm not into the way he's gone after Ten Hag. I'm not into the fact that he doesn't seem to be taking any responsibility for his own failures this season or his own faults, or even the fact that he's no longer the force he was. It does seem a little bit like I'm a massive victim here, and I don't think that entirely rings true. In terms of Ronaldo this season, I was just looking at his record. I mean, he's played 10 games in the Premier League, scoring 1 goal. He's played 6 in the Europa, scoring 2 goals. He's played about 1,000 minutes in total, and 3 goals to show for it, 16 appearances. In the Europa League, for example, I mean, he's had 6 starts, and he scored 2 goals, one against Sheriff, well, both against Sheriff, one at home, one away, and he's got 2 assists as well. I mean, this is a player who's banging in goals even last season, who's always banging in goals, and it's just not really been happening for him this season. I think that's part of the problem. In terms of the Premier League as well, he has started, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in the Premier League, and again, 1 goal. He's also come on a sub quite a lot. It's just not been happening for him. And Eric Ten Hag's obviously made a decision that United play better without him. And it's a decision I kind of agree with. I do. I think if you look at Ronaldo this season, he's just not the Ronaldo of old. And if you look at Manchester United when Ronaldo doesn't play, we play better. Some of the best performances I've seen this season from Manchester United have been without Ronaldo. You go back to, I think it was the Liverpool game, was it? The Spurs game. So, yeah, it does seem like Ronaldo does have to be a little bit more honest with himself and say, there's a reason I'm not in the squad. The reason I'm not getting picked in the team. And it's probably because my powers are on the wane a little bit. It's very sad. It's sad to see. I'm a little bit gutted about it all, to be honest with you, because Cristiano Ronaldo's given us so many great memories here, and this looks like it's the end of his time at United, and it's ending in a pretty bitter and nasty way. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think about the Ronaldo situation. It looks like he's played his last game for Manchester United. Do you agree? Don't forget as well to hit like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back later on. We'll have more Cristiano talk, obviously, because he's dominating the news today, for the Paddock podcast later on this afternoon. So make sure you are checking that out. I've been Jay Motti, outside a pretty brisk Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.